Lord, what is it that I love so much and I'm so grateful for in Jim Bob? And I remember just being so, like, a moment of realization came to me. And the thing that I admire is that I know that he shares his heart with me. And he really wouldn't have to, because I might not really know some things about him unless he was willing to open up and share those things.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, March 15th. I hope you're having a good day. Yesterday, we were working on some videos. I'm still, by the way, working on the 7M project, which is still deeply diving into that situation. And if you haven't been following me on Instagram, you should check me out. I hope to have a new video out in the next couple days over here on YouTube for an update on what I have found. For this video, we're going to talk about Deanna Duggar, who is calling out Jim's family, Jim Duggar's family. And this is curious because it happens about a month before sentencing and seemingly out of nowhere. And I wasn't totally sure what her intentions were. She clarified, but it was interesting. One of my followers sent me a screen grab of her posts on her Instagram, and then she noted that that Deanna had actually changed the caption. I shared this over on my Instagram, and I just said, I don't know why she changed her caption, but it wasn't sort of an implication by any means that she did anything wrong. It was just her first caption was very compelling. So in her first caption, she said this: I was told a completely different story about a certain family member. I saw the truth on my local news. So sad. That was the first caption, saying she was told a different story about a certain situation, which is, I'm assuming, Josh, and she found out on the local news, which again, I'm guessing is the same way most of us found out. And then she changed the caption to, I'm just counting my blessings today. What are you thankful for? Her first caption, I was told a completely different story about a certain family member. I saw the truth on the local news. Now, I don't know if she's talking about the truth about his conviction or what happened back in 2015. I posted that on my Instagram and I just said, this is strange. She's calling Jim Bob a liar. I mean, should we be surprised? I'm trying to remember if Deanna's actually publicly said this, that she was told a different story or not. I can't remember. I know that Amy mentioned that they were left in the dark. She said that on her Instagram. And I know back in 2015 when she was interviewed with People right before she got married, she did say that she was trying on her wedding dresses and she found out about what happened between what Josh did to the sisters on the news. When it comes to this situation with Josh's arrest, I'm assuming similar things happened. And if I recall, again, they also, at least Amy said, that they were left in the dark. When someone asked her why they changed the post, she said she does not miss a thing, talking about me. She said, I was going to repost it in April with a different pic. I just decided I didn't want negative comments and all the questions. Is it true I was lied to by my brothers? It is true I was lied to by my brother's family. My daughter was 2. I would have never, ever allowed my daughter to be on a show with such horrendous situations that I was not told about. I would not have been a part of a show either. My mom always used to tell me this, Deanna, if someone will lie to you, that person will steal too. She further clarified that she said, sorry, I was not trying to start anything, getting upset with someone else about my post change. So I explained why I changed it. Let's all just try to get along here. I know everyone has an opinion and social media gives us that choice to say what we want to say. Thanks to everyone who posted that what they are thankful for. Here's what I am thankful for: salvation through Christ, my true family, Dylan, Amy, and Dax, my health, and even when I can get discouraged, to know that Jesus loves me when I fall. Thankful for life and the opportunities I've been given, and new friends on Instagram. And she said, I did change the post. I did not think there was anything wrong with changing it. I thought I had freedom on my Instagram to post things I want to. I decided to make it positive There's just so much negative right now. I'm counting the blessings, and I do want y'all to list and be thankful for. We have enough negative arriving in April. So April is when Josh's sentencing is going to happen. April 5th, he is scheduled to be sentenced for his case. When it comes to her being lied to about being on the show, I'm assuming she's talking about when Amy appeared on 19 Kids and Counting. It is true that she likely did. I mean, she said, and both she and Amy have now said, that she didn't know about what Josh was doing, and Jim had lied to her about it. And that honestly doesn't surprise me. Jim doesn't really tell anyone about anything, truthfully, allegedly. Though it is interesting because after everything came out about Josh, and after he went to get help, and after he went away, and after all of that, Deanna did appear on Counting On during an episode in 2018 where she helped her nieces record an album called Happy Hearts, and they took the girls to Nashville to record, and Amy was actually on that same episode, and Deanna actually took the girls and gave them singing lessons and kind of helped them with their tune, and she was part of the production of this. This was a dream she had had. So she was on the show when they had Josh on the air, but then wouldn't have gone on that show, but she says she didn't sort of say that she was on the show in 2018. Josh was not on that episode, although I should mention that Mackenzie is part of that CD. I'm sure right now, my guess is she wants to distance herself from what could potentially be coming out in the sentencing hearing, and just wanting to distance herself from the family in general. And honestly, I don't think anyone blames Deanna or Amy for what Josh did or what Jim Bob did, right? I think people assumed probably the best in Josh and had hoped he had changed and gone through the help that he needed. I'm sure Jim Bob did a pretty dang good job of gaslighting and lying to them about his changes. And I'm sure Josh probably said all of the right things to make them believe that he was a different person, that he had found his redemption, and that he was working to better himself. It is important to remember that they're still Christians who believe that, if you confess before God and you take steps to redeem yourself, you can be forgiven, and forgiveness is very important to them. So I don't think it's fair to say we should blame them because they were back on the show in 2018, or we should say it's their fault. She might honestly just be feeling like she's getting things from all directions. The Duggars as a whole, all of them are getting backlash. And it's hard because in April, everything's going to get kicked up again when the sentencing happens. So in April on the 5th, what we're going to see is there's going to be a sentencing hearing. And during that hearing, there will be, victim impact statements. Josh might say something about what he did or did not do. He might allege things happened or did not happen, or he might still maintain his innocence. You will see people speak about Josh's character. You will have prosecutors reading statements from the victims in this case. Anyone that was victimized by Josh can also speak in court. So, and then there's going to be, just more discussions about the crimes and all of the different aspects of it. So there's going to be more coming up as we approach April 5th. And we might get more details about, what people did or did not know, what Josh did or did not do. A lot of people are suspecting that maybe Josh will have a change of heart, and he'll decide, you know what, I'm just going to fall before the judge and I'm going to apologize. And I'm going to say, well, if I did this, it's because something happened to me or something like that. Or people are hoping that Josh is going to throw his dad under the bus for something. I contend, and I don't expect this to happen, because Jim Bob is still supporting his wife. And I don't expect Josh to turn on his father right now, because then what happens to his wife? Who's going to take care of them if Josh is like, well, you're the one that ruined me? You know what I mean? And then on top of that, who's going to pay for his attorney's fees if he starts talking about his dad? Josh needs Jim Bob as much as Jim Bob needs Josh. It's like a codependent, destructive relationship where they each depend on each other for covering for the other person, allegedly. So I don't think Josh is going to call his dad out to the floor for that reason alone. But I also want to just say this. Josh is still maintaining his innocence. And if Josh plans to appeal this case and go through the appeals process and maintain his innocence, he can't stand at the sentencing and say that I did this and I'm sorry and my dad made me do it, or something that happened to me from childhood is what caused me to be this way, that kind of thing. So I don't expect him to change his position. I'm not guilty, which isn't likely going to help him when it comes to sentencing. There's obviously a lot of opinions on what his sentence will be all over the board, and we still have not heard from the judge about what the judge is going to do for his motions. So on February 28th, Josh Duggar filed a motion in a response to the government about wanting a new trial, an acquittal, or one of the charges to be thrown out. And right now, that is still being decided by the judge. They did send in their objections or responses to the judge for the sentencing guidelines. And at this point, we're just waiting for the judge to make his final decision about, is he going to acquit him, give him a new trial, or is he going to throw out that second conviction so that it doesn't impact the sentencing. Right now, the two convictions can impact sentencing because both have a sentence of up to 20 years. And in federal court, those generally run concurrently, unless for some reason a judge decides to deviate from that and say that they should be consecutive. But the judge did say if there was bond conditions that were broken, those would run consecutively, not concurrently. Long story short, things will get negative in April. Right now, there's a lull, but Deanna wanted to say it, then didn't want to say it. And listen, I can't blame her for wanting to say what she said. Don't give her hate. Don't give Amy hate. Like, they can't help who they're related to. And the best they can do right now is just continue to separate herself. And she said, my real family is Amy and Dax. So we just wish them the best. And I want to know what your thoughts are about this. Do you think this is something new? Do you think something like spurred up in her? Or do you think it's just more like her just continuing to deal and process? Personally, I just think she's continuing to deal with and process everything that's come out. All right, you guys, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Bye, guys.